Well, last week we spoke about the topic waves of craving. And just a quick summary of that lesson, I essentially said that while waves of craving are inevitable, they are not insurmountable. You can get through them. You can get on the other side of them without having the wave swamp your recovery boat, your lifeboat, so to speak. And as I listened back to that, I felt like there was really helpful, I thought, and hopeful ideas that you don't have to be swamped. But I did feel that I was light on describing some of the survival techniques or the go-tos that can help you get over that wave. And so today I wanted to take another stab at it and say, you know what? What are some ways, some personal ways that I deal with when I experience a wave coming on that get me to the other side? So hopefully it can be helpful for you. Welcome aboard.
Ready?
When it comes to porn, are you stuck, spinning out, or slipping backwards in your life? If so, then welcome to the Finding Traction podcast, a show dedicated to those who are looking to gain recovery momentum away from porn and toward the life and relationships they have always hoped for. Now, here's your host, Vern Tomke.
Well, if you're not part of the Circle Learning platform that I've created, I'd love to have you join. It's really a way that you can get a hold of all sorts of free resources. There's a whole lot of different worksheets on the Circle Learning platform. There is now free lesson 1 and 2 of the Finding Traction course that you can watch. There's information there on the Finding Traction 52-week video course. And there's also information on how you can become part of connecting with me if you want to talk more about accessing those resources, or perhaps even arranging a free Zoom call with me to talk about how I could serve you in your recovery needs. All of that, again, is available on the free Circle Learning platform. The link is in the show notes. If you're using your cell phone, you'll need to download the Circle app first. For many of you, that means you need to take off screen time temporarily. You'll know what I mean. But if you're on a computer or an iPad, you can just use that link directly. Once again, if you want to get a hold of me and talk about any way that I can be of help to you, my email is bandofbrothers.care, that's .care, @gmail.com. All right, well, I want to go back to this idea of overcoming these waves that hit us at various frequencies or regularity. And I think if you are journeying away from porn, most of you will have an idea of what I'm talking about. There's days where you really live in relative peace. You're not struggling with obsessive thoughts. You're doing fine. It's like the journey is maybe not downhill, but it's level. But other days, again, perhaps you wake up and go, oh my goodness, it is going to be one of those days. So let me go back in terms of some how-tos or survival strategies or go-tos. And let me just add, some robust language to this idea of connection. You've heard it many times. You need to be connected. You need to walk together with other people. But most of us, I don't think, actually practice any sort of robust or muscular connection. Let me give you a little example. So once again, you wake up in the morning and you go, boy, oh boy, I don't know what is going on, but today is going to be a struggle. Maybe I had a dream last night, or maybe I saw something on TV last night, or something clickbait-ish, and I wake up and go, wow, today is going to be a tough day. So what do? Well, now, some people, their idea of connection is just practicing confession after the fact. It's kind of like, forgive me, group, for I have sinned, or something like that. First of all, that is not what we're talking about connection. That's just, that confession, idea of accountability. That is not what we're talking about connection. So you're in the morning and you're going, this is going to be a wobbly day, a contested day, a struggling day. And so let's say you text on our WhatsApp group, you connect with your Finding Traction group, and you connect with them and say, guys, I'm really struggling this morning. Just wanted to check it in to let everybody know. Maybe you start with that. But you know what? It is one of those days where that wasn't good enough. So it's now 12:31 or 2, or you're now home from work and you're still struggling. Now, here's the mistake. You go, well, I already checked in with the group today. I don't really want to check in again, because who wants to be that needy guy in the group, or who wants to be that person that's always struggling? But you go, you know what? I remember this podcast. I'm checking in again. This time I'm going, guys, I'm still struggling. Is anybody up for a quick phone call? And you're inviting people. You're making yourself available and say, hey, I would love to have a phone call from somebody in my group. And maybe you say, guys, what I'm going to do, the last thing before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to bookend my day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that, the last thing before I go to bed, guys, I made it through the day and all's good, going to bed. Now, that is something that borders on muscular connection. There's connection, and then there's connection. And you're not simply going a quick one and done, well, I already reached out and it didn't work. You're leaning on that connection. You're expressing your weaknesses, your struggles, and you're saying, man, I don't know about tomorrow, but today I'm going to lean on the group. If you do that and you make a habit of that, eventually you will get to a point where that wave washes over you and you're on the other side. But if you experience waves like I have experienced waves, a quick one and done attempt at connection is not going to suffice. So I guess want to go back, and I want to just take a yellow highlighter out to that word connection and go, when I mean connection, I am really referring to truly leaning, depending, making the best and most use of those kind of things. It's worth saying this is why getting in a group is so important. If all you have, let's say, is one accountability guy, and I love it when people have maybe a local buddy that in the same town they're at that maybe helps them with their passwords on their screen time or their phone or whatever that is great to have somebody local. But you really need to practice this kind of connection. You really need to have developed a band of brothers. You need to develop a squad of guys that you're doing and you're walking through this stuff together. You're in the foxholes together. And that's just practically why, one of the reasons why trying to do recovery on your own doesn't work. And it's one of the greatest apologetics for getting into a group that is all wrestling with the same thing. People aren't going, how could you be struggling with that? They know, they get it, they've been there. So again, that is a bit of a plug for getting into a group, because those sorts of resources are available if you take advantage of them. I have had people in groups who are in a group and they think, well, I come to group once a week and maybe I do watch the video and do the work and I'm ready for that week. And that's what it means to be in a group. That's not what it means to be in a group. What I've just described, is what it means to be in a group. And if you're not the one calling and reaching out, then you're the one who are getting those phone calls. You're the one who are getting those text messages. You're the one when somebody says, anyone up for a quick call, you're the one maybe who has time that you can respond to that call. So once again, there's connection, and then there's connection. So again, let me just say as a starting point, if you're feeling wobbly, if you feel that that wave is growing and starting to wash over you, that is the very first thing that I recommend. Now let me share two other personal go-tos I use, and this is just me. You might have something completely different that you use in addition to connection. And the two go-tos that I'm going to share with you, they come directly out of my Christian journey and my Christian practice. So you may or may not be on the same page, but again, I want to just share from my experience how I deal with this idea of when I'm struggling and feeling wobbly. Once again, I make use of connection. The second one, though, is one of the couple things that I use. And it has to do with the idea that a lot of my struggles come from obsessive thinking. When I teach the clock diagram, I think it's lesson 2 in the course, or lesson 3, we talk about a trigger. And I have it on the diagram as a lightning bolt. But really, sometimes it could be a thought bubble. You get this thought, or something happens, or you see something that gets this obsessive thought. It's like the idea of when you hear a song, you may not even like the song, and it's, what do they call that, an earworm or something, and the tune is running through your head, and you can't get it out of your head, like Gangnam Style or some bad version of that, right? And you're going, how is it that I can turn the channel? How is it that I can deal with these obsessive thoughts? And the answer is not to think about them. It's like saying, don't think of the pink elephant. You're going to think about a pink elephant. So here's a couple go-tos again for my spiritual practices that I use. The first one is I make use of something called the Bible app. Now, many of you might be familiar with it. But one of the cool things of the Bible app is you can have someone read portions of Scripture to you. And the one psalm, it's a psalm or a song of David, that it has been especially helpful when I'm feeling wobbly and I'm trying to change the channel to a better channel, is Psalm 119. Now, I love it in the Message. Now, if you're not familiar with the Message, that's just a guy has re-paraphrased or put in his own words in more modern vernacular what was written many, many years ago. Some people like the Message, other people don't. But that's not the point. The point is it works for me. And so what I do is I will put on, mornings that I'm struggling, I will put on my headphones and I will just head out to the park that's right next to me, and I will put on Psalm 119. And as I walk, I have this dude read it to me, and it reminds me this is the path that I want to walk on. And I concentrate on the benefits of the path that I want to walk on. And it takes about 20 minutes. It's the longest chapter in the Bible. It takes about 20 minutes to read. I don't always listen to it all, but I listen to at least one lap, 10 minutes around the park. So I want to play just a little bit of it for you to get an idea of what it sounds like, what it feels like, and maybe you'll get an idea of why it's so helpful for me as I seek to change the channel.
Psalm 119. You're blessed when you stay on course, walking steadily on the road revealed by God. You're blessed when you follow His directions, doing your best to find Him. That's right, you don't go off on your own. You walk straight along the road He set. You, God, prescribed the right way to live. Now you expect us to live it. Oh, that my steps might be steady, keeping to the course you set. Then I'd never have any regrets in comparing my life with your counsel. I thank you for speaking straight from your heart. I learned the pattern of your righteous ways. I'm going to do what you tell me to do. Don't ever walk off and leave me. How can a young person live a clean life? By carefully reading the map of your word. I'm single-minded in pursuit of you. Don't let me miss the road signs you posted.
Now, one of the other things that I will do, and I am also beginning to lean into, is I saw, or somebody passed this to me on YouTube, and it's a short reading, a liturgical reading of someone dealing with a destructive desire. Now, I'm not a huge liturgical guy. I'm not from a highbrow church that uses a lot of liturgy, but I find this one especially helpful as well. And I'm just going to play for you the beginning of it. Again, it's completely in line with my faith and in line with the sorts of goals and desires I have for my life. And so here's a second one that I will use and listen to as well.
This is a liturgy for one battling a destructive desire. Jesus, here I am again, desiring a thing that, were I to indulge in it, would war against my own heart and the hearts of those I love. O Christ, rather let my life be thine. Take my desires, let them be subsumed in still greater desire for you, until there remains no room for these lesser cravings. In this moment, I might choose to indulge a fleeting hunger, or I might choose to love you more. Faced with this temptation, I would rather choose you, Jesus, but I am weak, so be my strength. I am shadowed, be my light. I am selfish. Unmake me now and refashion my desires according to the better designs of your love.
Now here's a question. What do both of those last two clips have in common? Well, what they have in common is a different way of thinking. They have something that we can put into our minds to crowd out or push out those obsessive thoughts. And it's been absolutely crucial for me as I push out those obsessive thoughts to have something to fill my mind with. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a great person at memory work. I'm put to shame when I used to go watch my son. My son is in theater and played in a lot of Shakespeare plays. I was amazed at how much they could memorize. And I was always blown away because I always struggled to memorize some of the smallest things. But I am making it a goal. I might take 5 years, but I would also like to make as a goal to memorize as much as possible that liturgy and or large portions, if not all, of Psalm 119. And what would that do? Well, that would have a way of something which is immediately accessible for me when I needed to reach for somebody. Let's say I'm not at a point where I can use connection, but it's something that is immediately available for me to grab onto or to fix my mind on. So again, you might have different go-tos, but those have been some go-tos that have been especially helpful for me. Once again, first one, practice real, muscular, robust connection. Not confession after the fact. I mean, that's good too, but I'm talking about real time, number one. And number two, having something that you can fix your mind on, that you can turn the channel to, and that can help you push out, crowd out those sort of obsessive thoughts that eventually wear you down, that make you want to just go ahead and get over it by acting out. So hopefully that's a little helpful. Add to our last week's podcast on that. And I'd love to get feedback from you. What do you find helpful? What is your go-tos that help you in times of feeling especially vulnerable or having the wave washing over you. I'd love to share those with other guys as well. We'll see you next time.